having me, and thanks for the previous stuff as well. This is a quite a long, meandering, abstract poem that I've cut down for the purposes of this, but I wrote it to try and make sense of a very destructive period of psychosis that I went through, and what I found, I hope, is that whilst trying to make a sense of that confusing world, it's kind of, you can connect to it because we live, all of us, in a confusing world anyway. So that's what I say. It's called Collision and Other Forms of Love. This is for those who watch the sun draw on their eyelids, who keep them shut to see messages of light. Shape and colour collude with one another. Scribbled galactic secrets send a flicker and a flash. A fractured diagram of consciousness. Our fractal neurons mimicked. Drawings in the darkness of the mind. Andromeda is awaiting silence. I am in a hospital, though I think it's a spaceship. A choice must be made. Emphatically, 3 options stand. Just permit a needle to slide through your veins. Go to sleep with the faithful and await rescue. Option 2, step onto the spaceship and the adventure of a new world. Hurtle into a vast story of endless seeking to find your true self, an unbridled extraterrestrial entity. The third way is to stay. Try to salvage a world drained of life. Struggle for air to breathe as you huddle together with all that is wholesome and try and coordinate a revival. At different points, all 3 are chosen. The way is not linear. Multiple choices play out in tandem. Scenes transition with an intense urgency, oscillate and transfer meaning like chameleon. I meet dark-eyed friends in scrubs, whose pupils dilate at every seismic thought. The heavily lit corridors never lead to clarity. Angular lines of light pierce closed eyes. Impressions of the science fiction set fix themselves to a waking dream. I sink deeper into a hard floor, through it to floating, trying to surrender. Take the tiny increments of change, charging through the timeline of creation, swirling galaxies, shaping and expanding universe, past birth pains of first sun, long lunges in time to life emerging, humanity just a needle prick in this story, a speck in a dust bowl, yet in breadth, the magnitude of lives lived puts humanity as the second Big Bang, pacing at the threshold of answers. And I'm hitting out at caring hands that will never comprehend how little I trust them. This is larger than any routine checkup. I will not get in that wheelchair to feel its rigid embrace. I walk the corridors, the rock of my reality shaken. Fissures rush and to sabotage syntax. Finally, I agree to lie down on the bed under the laser to be killed. Though when I don't die, a new plot is afoot. For a while, Jesus is me. Even when I no longer believe it, I'm convinced others do. Most revile me for my arrogance. Cues form outside my hospital bed. The air, a flint knife fire of accusations. Astronaut, which way is home? Emerald lover, now cloistered in the great silence, what direction will you go? For Earth is the origin of all life everywhere. We are an epic story read by future ancestors from other planets, distant cousins who played the catapult game, from one outpost to another, through galaxies. The ripple effect ever after, like new pathways flashing in an expanding brain. Astronaut, you have nowhere to hide, floating away from your hearth where every thought had a place. Forgotten the bliss of an evening glass charged with gold, far from skin's touch and the suspense of another's gaze, aborted meaning with weightlessness. Cold zodiacal light sweeps the stage, through ice and dust. Oh astronaut, you were once a baby, connected, not lonely. Andromeda is a watching angel. The very curvature of the earth has become a screen. Aliens who were once my friends monitor every thought tremor. My pathetic, cowering self is broadcast for scrutiny. Disdainful round-table discussions taint every choice I've ever made. Sexual desires, regrets, repression, inconsistencies aired live, the stuff of tabloids. Then, just an idea becomes the only truth. Nuclear weapons are about to be set off in my brain. Of course, Trump and Russia place me centre stage. How I behave is linked to the detonation. I tiptoe through the park, helicopters roar overhead, motorbike engines, the angry voices of those who once knew me. Bitterly let down by my hubris, they tear around the universe, trying to undo my mistakes. Shrinking back to earth, sitting by diminishing campfire in the growing cold, the coded message of feet brushes past. I can't remember what the signal means or how to make things better. Back through the strife and leaps of evolution to nothing, a mean, small nothing. A lurid game of leapfrog spins backwards in double time, a kaleidoscope in reverse, all squirming and head throbs, a manic jostle without oxygen, me truly alone. One impotent planet hanging in a great gulf of emptiness. Astronaut, won't you start dancing? Find that roots of rhythm remain. Under your suit, encoded sinew sings. Infinite regression unleashes a whirling dervish. Your small self dissolves. In eccentric orbit, you let your body grow into the music. Give everything. Join a larger dance, where love dances with hate. 2 steps forward, 1 step back. History and arc reaching slowly for harmony. Out of the murky misery of memory, light dashes free for another skirmish. Won't all that rises up converge? In evolution may we find breath. This, the omega point. Tears, tethered to tears, take the route most travelled on a stretched and weary face. Let's rejoice in the wet healing of this unstoppable grace. Ladders leading to ladders, down to mud, down to something vital, that essence shared, walking through the valley, eavesdropping a glut of languages, all mouthing a word like love, looking in the mirror, changing faces. Everyone I've ever known, rotating like bullets in the barrel of a gun, they dance together, everyone in ice, back to the mirror, myself or myself won't shatter or get off my back, hear a voice saying, madder, madder. Astronaut, don't be so harsh on yourself. Testing reality relentlessly, stars reflect off your helmet's visor, silver and blue explosions, the chemical composition of your tears melts through the armour of your spacesuit. You are an experiment in the spaciousness of infinity. Seek relatedness as your breastplate. The 2-pronged rebuke pierces your side. Blood and water weigh less out here. For Andromeda is a Russian embrace. The world regurgitates 100 hidden histories, the unheard unearth and parade the night. Hope is dawning over the embers of anguish. I became a primordial galaxy, a cloud of gas where I met God's shadow. Dark halos, each one mine to try on. Cosmology is disobedient as gravity. I wrestle the selves like Jacob wrestled God. For I do not know what I want to change. I fumble every time I begin a heavenly arm lock. This talk of better is hard to manifest from misery, yet I will come out wounded, nursing new stars, destiny changed. Ideas like universal love harder to believe, yet never as pertinent. In moments an experience irrefutable, presence pulsating radially, a giant stellar stream of longing, so much opposed yet still joined. Dark lanes connecting an island universe. Astronaut, let me whisper to you the way the pillow talks at night. No words heard, just urgency. The sound of stars running away. Secrets escaping. Instructions on the reassembling of self. Let me whisper to you of essential rock, the lichen green freshness of air. Do not forget the lovely dance of water. Let me whisper to you an echo. Twists and scars of the beech tree, the bristle and scent of moorland heather, beaded glimpses of huddled rain poised on leaves, spider's web on the wings of a moth. This is a love story that breaks through illness, that continues to hope, The narrative cannot end in isolation and embarrassment, nor resist the pull of surging complexity and the scale of beauty found there. The rocks are weightless and dancing, remnants of faith linger like dust, a form of madness, keeping life in the veins.